evening, everybody. It's about 10 o'clock p.m. on your Saturday night. Just doing a weather video update here for the upcoming storm over the eastern United States. For your Monday night and Tuesday, there was some talk on analystwxcast.org of a potential storm to bring some ice, snow, and then a little bit of rain for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeastern regions. We're going to sit down here and talk about that event, the setup that's going to take place, and I'm also going to invite forecaster Ryan Krim in to discuss his analysis on this storm as well. So first of all, we're going to look at the satellite imagery here, and what's very interesting is the way that the storm is going to set up is we're going to have one primary low pressure or storm system that retreats down from the upper Midwest. That's basically where the first low forms, as I stated. The second low pressure is going to form around Texas here. That's going to be the low pressure that becomes the primary that really disrupts the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast with a lot more precipitation, some warmer air with it, and again, more moisture could really mean a lot of ice, especially with a high pressure that's going to sit up over Canada as this whole event retreats to the east. And that is what we're going to be talking about on this video segment tonight. So looking over on the models of the latest GFS, we're going to show you this surface analysis of what I've just stated in the satellite imagery, and that is we're going to have that one low pressure, okay, that's going to come out of the upper Midwest and it's going to sit here. This low pressure is going to take its track to the east across the Ohio Valley. That other low pressure that was over Texas is going to move across the southern states. This is going to be the low pressure that collects all of its moisture, okay, and this is going to be the one that also brings that warmer air advection up the coast. What's eventually going to happen, and I'll show you this on the next imagery, is that the low pressure, or this primary, is going to start to diminish once it makes its way over the Ohio Valley. This other low pressure becomes the real primary and really strikes the region with that ice and that heavier precipitation. Again, like I stated, you have the high pressures that sit up here over the upper Northeast and Canada, and that's going to create a cold air damming event, especially as you can see here looking at the thicknesses, this blue line. When you have a little bit of a dent here, as you see here, that indicates a CAD event. CAD stands for a cold air damming, and those are the events where the cold air keeps in a location long enough, and then what can eventually happen is some of that precipitation that moves in to the location can change or keep to ice before changing to rain, sometimes in that case changing to snow to ice rather than ice to rain. Then, as we see the imagery for the temperature map here, beginning about your Monday night, this is when temperatures are going to be pretty cold. You can definitely see over Canada very cold temperatures, even into the upper Northeast, and that's going to really douse some temperatures into the 20s and 30s on Monday night. Definitely, it's going to be cold. That cold air mass is going to be there for when that precipitation does ride into the Mid-Atlantic and Northeastern regions. On the next imagery here, we then have everything beginning to initialize, and this becomes your overnight Monday into very early Tuesday. And with that being said, what we now have is, like stated, this primary low pressure begins to kind of diminish, begins to really break apart from the coastal, and that's when this one's really going to start to gain some of its warmer air. You could see the counterclockwise flow of the low pressure bringing those isobars in from the south and east, so more moisture, warmer air. But when you have these high pressures up here, okay, that has a clockwise flow, and that's going to bring some colder temperatures in from the north, and that's where you're going to have your clashing going on right here, and that's where the coldest air will dam. And as you can see on the next imagery here, that basically does settle in that indeed the coldest air will be stuck, okay, holding in overnight into early Tuesday. So not much change in the temperatures, and of course the next imagery after that, things are staying the same. You still have the coastal now forming just off North Carolina. It broke off with that primary, and you can see the thicknesses are starting to ride a little bit up north into the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, and this is going to be the most crucial time. So I'm actually going to let forecaster Ryan Krim for AnalystWXCast.org seep his way in here and give his best analysis on this storm. Ryan, take it away.
Thanks, Andrew. Everyone, this is forecaster Ryan reporting for AnalystWXCast.org. As you can see in the Mid-Atlantic, we have those thicknesses that Andy was describing in the previous frames are above the D.C. Baltimore metropolitan area and up through Philadelphia and New York City. However, looks may be deceiving in this image, as in actuality, the surface temperatures, which will be tough to be displaced because of that CAD, or cold air damming event, that Andrew talked about earlier, it will be tough to have these surface temps displaced, and they will hover in a 31 to 32 degree area. So, even though it looks on this image like you'll be getting change to plain rain with the funneling of the warm air off the Atlantic Ocean, those high pressures to the north over Quebec are going to be keeping the cold air in the area, in case will leave a freezing rain, potentially disruptive scene for DC and Baltimore, especially areas to the north and west. As you can see, drawing down here, the cold air is being funneled in and will effectively keep the CAD scenario in place. I'm going to hand it back over to forecaster Andrew for him to wrap it up on our thoughts of the event.
Thanks, Ryan. This is forecaster Andrew Fleck back in doing and finishing up this video update. And as Ryan said, you're going to have a very interesting and hard time to break down which area in those major cities from Philly to Baltimore, D.C., and into New York City can stay overwhelmed in that colder air. And if that does happen, there could be some major problems, especially on Tuesday, as a lot of that precipitation is going to be coming in overnight Monday and lasting into early Tuesday. And hey, if it lasts longer than just Tuesday morning, the commute could be very rough for the big cities, and that's something that we're going to really need to take care of. So that is going to be a major issue, and probably a time frame Tuesday morning that we really need to concentrate on. Last but not least, we're going to go in the temperature map after this imagery, and you can definitely see that we're looking at 20s and 30 temperatures still holding in surface-wise, just northwest of Philly, a little bit northwest of Baltimore, D.C., but really back inland in PA, there's a chance that there might not even be a changeover. So there's a few models that are taking that turn, there's a few that aren't, but as of right now, I think we're going to go with that standard of most areas are going to start with a wintry mix of either just some ice or snow, and then eventually that could change from snow to ice or then ice to rain. And we're going to break all of that down with a video that'll be issued later tonight, or another map as well, and then of course another few maps before this event really begins to take place and take concern. So this has been forecaster Andrew Fleck for AnalystWXCast.org doing a weather video update. Stay tuned on this event. It's going to be a tough one, a challenging one, but one that we're going to be able to serve you right, weather right. This is AnalystWXCast.org signing out.